Guys, Rich has been absolutely awesome for me, like so consistent, so helpful, so what's the word? Knowledgeable. And I think like this third time
Thank
round.
you.
No.
Thanks.
Honestly. This third time round has been absolutely like immense for me. A huge bit of progress that we made. Putting on weight, eating, plans, all of that stuff. So I say massive thank you to him. Make sure you subscribe, because I know so many of you guys that watch these videos don't subscribe because you're lazy. It's free. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below.
Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you Manny's brand new bench press PB, which he set recently. It's been quite a journey this year. We've been training together for 10 months now, and initially when we started training, we were basically going for the aim of gaining a little bit more weight, which we've done. We've gained 6 kilograms, which is pretty good in the year, considering the fact that we spent 3 months of that not really lifting any weights, focused on rehabbing because he dislocated his shoulder for the 3rd time, and this was a pretty bad dislocation because the shoulder was out for over 2 hours. When did you first dislocate your shoulder?
2019.
And then?
Yeah, 2019, 2021, and 2022.
Yeah.
Born in Feb.
Wow.
As well. So no football in Feb.
The stats are actually pretty bad if you dislocate your shoulder between, I think you were at 23, right, when you first did it. But if you're between the ages of between the ages of 18 to 22, the stats for dislocating your shoulder are pretty bad. So guys, if you are, I actually had quite a lot of messages, especially recently with Manny doing so well, about shoulder rehab and what you do if you dislocated your shoulder. I'm going to make some videos on that and some of the stuff that we've been doing with Manny. I've got some footage, and I'm going to do a little series of, I'll make a very long video, I'm not quite sure how I'll do it yet, but taking you through the steps of what we did to make sure it's more stable, because you'll see in this video now when we're going for the max bench that his left shoulder is more stable than the right one right now. So we're going to actually do some rehab on the right one to make that a little bit stronger as well. We haven't actually benched much right through the year because it wasn't really our focus, but we did do some bench at the end of December. I'm going to show you how we got on with that. He was pretty good on that. We then moved on the end of January, we did some bench again, and we went for a max. Very, very wobbly and unstable.
Yeah.
Dislocated his shoulder 2 weeks later. And you might watch this and think, why is he doing a max when he's so unstable? But we don't know he's so unstable until we try that, right? So when you see the reps that we did at the end of December, he wasn't actually wobbling and unstable. It's only when we moved the weight up quite high. So it was good to see, but the reason he dislocated his shoulder wasn't because of anything we've done. Everything we were doing was pretty safe. How did you dislocate it?
A throw-in came in and I went up to challenge with like a fairly big guy.
Yeah.
But because my arm was up here and it got some contact this way, that is the way that you can dislocate your
Yeah.
shoulder. That's when this angle is very dangerous
Yeah.
for your shoulder. Even if you've never dislocated it before, if you get the right amount of contact going that way, it's really bad for your shoulder.
Yeah, so it's in a very vulnerable position and then gets hit. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. That's 3 dislocations now. I wasn't involved in the first 2, so we tried to do as much groundwork as we can. I actually never really talk about this, but I'm actually a sports therapist as well, so I do some treatment sometimes, and I used to do it full time as a job actually. I think I mentioned it on the channel before, but I don't really talk about it too much. I've done pretty much all of the stuff with Manny. We've done all of the treatment together, we've done all of the range of motion together, and all of the strength and stability work together. So it's led us right back up to doing a 1 rep max, where you will see the progression in stability is way better than when he tried it at the end of January. How have you found the rehab that we've done?
I found it good. I think it's incredible and like very important for you to be consistent when you're doing rehab. And I think that's the first time I did it, I was kind of like inconsistent. I was kind of like given like a home package to do the rehab and do exercise myself, but with that I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know like the extent of what I'm doing or how important which exercises. But yeah, the second time, because it was COVID times as well, like the hospital just gave me like again like a video pack to look at and said yeah, go through this, but I wouldn't know how strong or weak it is or how it's getting better because there's no one to really assess that. So this third time round has been really important, and we've stayed quite consistent. Yeah,
and I just want to say I'm not here to give rehab programs to anybody watching this video. If you have dislocated your shoulder, make sure you go and get the right assessment, and make sure you go and get checked out and get a rehab program from a physiotherapist if you can. But there isn't much actually out there online that shows what you can do if you're in the situation where you don't really have the access to that, or you can't get a good physio or someone who's good to give you a rehab program. So I'm not saying I'm any of those things, and I'm not saying that this is what you should do. I'm just going to show you guys what we have done in the future videos going forwards that's helped us. Also, by the way, if you can hear the little munching in the background, Ruby is eating her bone. She's very excited that Manny's here, so she needs to eat a bone to calm down. Yeah, so we're jumping now on the 30th of December. We're going to go 40 kgs, Sarah gets on if it's good, 50 kgs and 60 kgs.
All this way, good. One, just keep a slightly bigger arch. Two, put your bum down as well. Three, it's good, but now relax your face. And keep that left wrist. 4, easy. 5, 6, 7, this is really good, bro. Breathe in, out, in, 9, 10, good, put it away. Arch, come on, set. You want to really retract, set yourself. That's it, from there. Yes. Bit more. 1. It's a bit flat, bro. 2. Nice, bring it down to above your chest again, the middle of your chest. A bit higher. 3. Touch. 4. Let's get a touch. 5. 6. Put it away. Get good control of it. Let's go. Good control. Lovely. 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2. Let's go a little bit deeper now, bro. In. Out. Give me one more. That's enough. Put it away.
Okay, so he was very stable then through the 40, 50, 60. You can see the last rep of the 60, he rocks backwards. That's why I stopped the set. In general, I'm quite happy to see how much you can push, how well you can do on the bench if we put a little bit more on. So we're gonna take another month, not touch the bench too much. His form's actually very good as well. You've got a very good arch in your back. You retract the shoulders quite well. You keep the chest up. Yeah, we're gonna try now for a 1 rep max, which will be 75 for you. We're gonna try that at the end of January.
Yikes. Yeah, I remember that. I was.
Giving you the good
I needed to be safe. I needed to be safe.
Yeah.
I want to try that on my own, obviously, though.
Yeah, you want to try that on your own, but the difference from 60 kgs to that 75, this instability in the shoulders, you could really see then that we needed to do some stability work and we needed to work your rotator cuffs to make you much stronger, because it's only a matter of time you go and do something max and your joints are vulnerable and the muscle can't actually do the work, so we need to make the joints a lot more stable.
That is something that obviously during the whole rehab and stuff we have been battling with the rotator cuff. Obviously on the side I dislocated, it's very like stiff, so even when we go to do stuff it has to sort of like warm up before we get to start moving normal.
Yeah, it's stiff, and we've had to rebuild it as well, because initially when we first started back a couple of weeks in, once we let the joint settle down, it really atrophied quite a lot, especially the infraspinatus, which is quite an important rotator cuff muscle. Rebuilding it, it stiffens up, you've got to loosen it up, and it has been a slow process, but you've done really good. Let's jump forward now to the 5th of July. So bear in mind that that 1 rep max attempt was before the shoulder dislocation, where Manny was feeling pretty good, pretty stable. Now, 6 months later, 5 months after the shoulder dislocation, it's 5 months I think, less than 5 months, 4.5 months after the shoulder dislocation, we're going to go back on the bench for the first time. We have not benched once during that period. So first of all, massive respect, because even with doing loads of stability work, to hold the form that you hold, to stay you bench very few times in your life, you listen really well to the instructions, and the form and the retraction and the hold is really, really good. So actually, you know what, I have to say huge respect for that, because you are very good at adjusting yourself in sets. When I give you feedback, you're very good at changing things, which is actually quite hard to do. And in my experience of doing this for so many years, not many people can make the changes and adjustments as quickly as you can. So yeah, respect for that. We're going to jump in, 5th of July, 5 months after the shoulder dislocation, and we're going to go 40 kgs and 50 kgs. We're not going to put any more on the bar today. We're going to see how stable he is and how well he does, and if his shoulder is feeling good as we do it.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chest up, retract. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Enough. Easy, bro. Shoulder feels good. Shoulder feels good. Stable. Keep that retraction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe it. Good. Keep moving. Push. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A little bit low down your chest. Retract. Put it away. 10. Shoulder stable. Nice, bro.
40 kg, I think like that's kind of standard for me now that we've done all the bits before. So that felt, it's not like easy, but it felt normal. Then 50 kg was a little bit heavier. I feel like whenever I've benched in the past, like before we started doing stuff, 50 kgs was really difficult for me. Not like, it wasn't like as easy as we've done it now.
Yeah.
I think like that was like my max around then, and like with a squat I could maybe do like 55.
Yeah. Bear in mind, Manny weighs now 62 kgs.
62.7.
62.7 kgs. And when we started, it was back on 56 kgs. So benching 55, like you were saying, is still his body weight, so it's pretty good. Now 50 kgs. So I feel like what you're saying is 40 kgs. You know, you can just go in there, hold your form, and you can rep them out. But 50 kgs, you have to actually focus and work a bit harder. Yeah. But it feels comfortable for you to get in there. One thing that I'd like to say, and I want you guys to bear in mind as well, I discussed this with Manny in the session. If you look back, I'm going to play it again. If you look back on the 50 kgs, he retracts, he holds everything in very, very comfortably and well. But then when he goes to put the bar away, he could hold that retraction and just take the bar backwards and it's away, but he actually reaches out and then looks for where he's going. And that reaching out has now made the shoulder vulnerable. So we want to make sure we hold the retraction to just put the bar straight back onto the rack. We're going to jump forwards now, just a week. I was very happy with the 40 and 50, so what we're going to do now is do less reps at 40 and 50, put it on 60, see how that feels, not do too many reps, and maybe just push it up a little bit to see how he's going. The aim wasn't actually to go for a 1 rep max, it was just to see how he's getting on, and it ended up that he looked so good that we did move up to a 1 rep max, and it was a lot better than what we saw earlier on at the end of January. So let's jump forwards to the bit where he was vibrating. How was the 60?
The 60 was like similar to the 50 where, like you said, I just have to think about it more and make sure that I'm doing the right movements and putting in the right amount of effort, because it's one of those, if you like lose concentration for a moment, then it all of a sudden becomes heavier.
Yeah.
So I was just making sure that I was doing the right movements, keeping my body like aligned and pushing.
But 60 felt comfortable enough to be like, you know what? We can move up here.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We'll go 70 kgs. It's now
It's heavier than me.
8 kgs over his body weight. Bear in mind, it's the second time we've benched since the end of January.
Chest up, keep retracting. Let's go. One at a time. Let's go. Control. Chest up, push. One at a time. Keep the elbows tucked in. Push, push, push. 2, enough. Well done. Well done. Feel good?
Okay, so what we see with the 70 kgs is that the left shoulder, in my opinion, is more stable than the right now, because as we come up, the right elbow is starting to kick up a little bit. You can see now we're actually getting so stable in the left that he's able to hold the position better than the right. So after watching this and pushing him to a heavy weight, that starts to expose some weaknesses. So we now know that we need to increase the stability in the right side so it's as strong as the left, which is mad to say that the left was hanging out of the joint for a couple of hours a few months ago. How did 70 feel for you?
70 felt tougher, but it didn't feel like impossible. It felt like I could do it. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like sometimes just because you know the weight's heavier, you already start to accept defeat a little bit. So I kind of had to tell myself, and obviously with your encouragement, I had to just be like, yeah, I can do this. So
Yeah.
I just kept going, because normally I'd kind of go like, oh, like the weight's heavier, it's too much.
Yeah. We're going to jump up just 5 kgs. It'll be a PB for him. This is a 1 rep max PB for you. 13 kgs of your body weight, which is about 25% almost of your body weight. We'll see how we get on. So 75 kilograms, 1 rep max, PB. But I think if we put 80 kgs on the bar, you would have got it. I think if we put 85 kgs on the bar, you might have got it. But there's a problem when the risk becomes higher than the reward. So I want you to stop there, just like I stopped on 50 kgs the week before. See how we react. See how the shoulder is in a few days. If you have had an injury, don't get in there and go from 0 to 100 real quick. Take your time, test it out. Even if it's feeling good, rep out a little bit lighter. Go away, see how the joint reacts. So that's what we did. There was no reaction, it felt good. That's why we've come back in, and there's been no reaction this time as well. It feels good. But we've also learned something. The left side still needs more work. We're gonna make that more stable, but the right side needs more stability work now as well, so that he can hold that form under the maximum weight. Happy with your progress?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the most progress because I think we've been a lot more consistent, whereas before there's always been something breaking it up or whatever, but we've been doing at least twice a week.
Yep, and it's crazy. Manny has a 1-year-old child. Sometimes nights sleep are not there and we're still in the gym, 7 o'clock in the morning. Huge respect, man. He got his eating in, got his weight up, uploading on his channel every day. So many moving parts and he's still making it work. Whatever you've got going on, guys, if you commit to it and you really want it enough, you can do it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please make sure you drop a like and leave a comment. I'll be uploading loads more videos with what Manny's been doing soon. If you want to get yourself a training plan, make sure you check out CoachRichie.store. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'm all in. Brody on the line, I'm tapping in. God out here pulling the strings for me. A girl on the line, she feeling me. Preoccupied by the motivation. Put in the time, pay the entry fee. Bro on the rise, yeah, he kinda nice. Inside of my mind, no one's real as me. Lately, life has been gorgeous. Wake up to clear, my eyes hit record. Praise up to God, I ain't chasing no bitch. Swinging and miss, got me hitting these licks. I get the orders, don't get it distorted.